You must not avert your eyes. This is what is coming at us. Do not avert your eyes.
Touch these toes, you probably gotta pay to see them first.
I think somebody mentioned something about their dogs barking.
Yeah. Well, you've been through the alley.
I have. And back.
What about the back? Oh, we're talking about back doors now?
Patrick?
I am not fucking talking to you. After what you put me through this weekend at Podfire, why the fuck would I talk to you? We're lucky we got out of there alive. What?
Well, not everybody, but I mean, we did. So it was a disaster. I'm sorry. Live and learn.
What do you mean? What do you fucking mean? You told me the island wasn't haunted. You said the island wasn't haunted. You said there weren't any ghosts. There were ghosts everywhere. There were ghosts in the asylums, in the towers, in the fields, in the concert halls, in the combination orgy tent / bounce house. Fucking ghosts.
Yeah.
They trapped Aaron Mankey to hell. How is our brand going to survive that?
Well, I mean, okay. I mean, you're right. I'm sorry.
Have you thought of a soft reboot?
A soft reboot? How do we reboot? There was no food on the island. The con festival goers resulted to cannibalism. They ate the Pod Save America guys.
Pod couldn't save them.
You know, we all made fun of Robert Evans showing up strapped to the teeth with guns, but he was the only one prepared for what was going to happen. It's just too bad he brought the ATF down on our heads.
He seems to be ready for just about anything. So, how many people do you think were there? It was quite a few.
Well, last after the fucking zombies came out. Zombies rising from the goddamn dead. Everyone ran for the beaches. People could have lived. They could have escaped. I don't know. Maybe if the cheap-ass boats you bought weren't riddled with holes.
I should have taken a better, closer look at that. I think that was not that was not a good thing.
I don't even know why I showed up tonight.
You know, I never really understood is like, so boats have flotation devices on them. They have got like life vests and stuff because if you sink, you know, the boat goes under. I get that, but why don't airplanes have parachutes? I mean, at least 20 or 30 people could have been saved if they had parachutes on the plane. Yeah, there was a whole group of people that didn't even make it to the island. I mean, maybe it was better that way. It didn't have to deal with the zombies.
And the ghosts.
But yeah,
and
the ghosts.
The curse.
Maybe they were the ghosts.
And the cannibalism.
Yeah, I don't know.
Thank God the McElroys canceled. Could you imagine? Podcasting would be over.
Is that the make it or break it deal?
The McElroy brothers? Yeah, that's basically the zenith of podcasting.
Yeah. Would it behoove you to know that I've never listened to a single one of their episodes?
I figured you hadn't, but like you probably should.
I read a book about them.
Everyone has the podcasting book by them.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I read.
Wait, they're published?
They're best-selling authors.
I mean, they're no Chuck Tingle, but
holy shit! I knew they set up like Polygon, but I didn't know they had like books. I thought they left the journalism for other people who actually like did stuff in the games industry.
Hi, Cammy. How are you tonight?
I'm doing all right. I hope I didn't come too early. Was there something up with the time zones?
You know, I think you just walked into Gimcracks a little bit sooner than Dustin here.
Yeah, I apologize.
It was 8 a.m. this morning. I didn't open to 10. She was just waiting there. I opened the door. She's like, yeah, I'm here to record.
Yeah.
Record. It was 12 hours ago.
He's not a very good flirt.
Well, I'm glad that you didn't go to Podfire because you might not have made it out. So
yeah, I had a ticket and everything, but
Yeah, that might not have been a real ticket. Or actually, it probably was a real ticket, but it was not real, if you know what I mean. That makes sense?
I think so.
No, if any of this made sense.
But at least Gimcrack got to meet Adam, so that was fun.
I enjoyed meeting influencers of all shapes and sizes this weekend.
And what did you do to them?
Well, it's funny.
And you, skulking in the shadows, picking people off one by one like a cheap slasher villain. What the fuck, man? Dustin, we
Oh
should just cancel this fucking
no.
episode. We should just cancel this goddamn episode, Dustin.
Hold on. I need you to do a deep breath for me.
No, I'm sorry.
Okay.
No, fuck it. You know what? I'm done. I'm done, guys.
Okay.
All right. All right. So, I guess we can do. I hear dogs barking now. Okay.
Yeah. If you would like to come back on tomorrow, maybe?
I don't.
You know, I really feel like that was kind of an overreaction on his part.
Well, Gimcrack.
Titties up.
How are you doing?
I'm having a blast. You know, I got to meet Adam Festival. I got to flay Adam Festival slowly with an open fire. Had to I had to meet so many people at Potfire.
I think,
And
I think you may not want to talk about too much of it on the air.
The laws of men are of no concern to me.
Okay.
And I'm fascinated. Tell me more.
You know, it's funny. You can do this thing with like some barbed wire and a fire. At any point, someone can interrupt me to
That's
say we need
so
a horn and a jackalope.
interesting.
I'm a little speechless about that.
You know, it's a really good time, you know, to just kick back on an island for a week and really take a break from the pressures of everyday life and murder countless.
Is that where
Countless
you all
souls.
were? Gaycation?
You know, the thing about the gaycation is, once it starts, there's really no stopping it, and that's a lot like Podfire. Once it starts, there's no stopping it. But anyway, do we have a show to do?
Yeah, but Patrick just left. You wanna poke the jackalope?
I don't really know if we necessarily need him. I don't think he really brings anything to the table.
You don't like the jackalope?
Oh, the jackalope's fine. I meant Patrick.
Oh, I thought you didn't like
No,
the
the jackalope was my
Good,
idea.
'cause
Yeah,
we're keeping the jackalope. Yeah, okay. So Cammy's our guest. Do you have anything you want to plug?
That's such a dangerous question.
I've
You knew what you did when you said that. You just knew.
I knew.
I think all I have to say is I've been writing more porn, and if you're brave enough and pure of heart, you can probably find it on Archive of Our Own. I think that's all I'll hit for now.
Okay, you're not going to say what the title is so people can find it. You're just going to say it's out there and they can go and find Cammy's porn.
Yeah.
I
It's
have some
like
notes on like the efficacy of this. You know, it's funny. It's like when I talk to Dustin and Patrick about marketing. They do things like they'll put up little pinup ads in like a break room somewhere or something, but they never purchase ads on any website, or they'll like shout really loudly in a crowded supermarket, you know, check out our show and then run. Like that's the kind of vibe I think you're giving when you say, I have a product and it's out here. Find it if you want.
well, it's kind of fun.
But doesn't that add a little?
like
There's
Jolly
what?
Roger's treasure.
Like Jolly Roger's treasure.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like Jolly Ranchers.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Nice size trunk on that one.
Yeah. We like a big chest here.
Despair, darkness, doom, yada yada. You know the bit.
So, what are we watching tonight?
I was just very worried for Patrick.
He'll be fine. He'll be fine.
He'll get over it.
You know,
He'll get over it.
he's contractually obligated to be back on the show. We'll give him a week or two to cool off, and then if he doesn't show up, I'll send demons after him. They'll drag him back. We'll start
But
again.
like, have you been in that alleyway after dark?
Yes.
I called dibs on his Hawaiian Muppet shirts.
What did you call dibs on his Hawaiian shirts?
I said I called dibs on his Hawaiian Muppet shirts.
You know, a man of taste, as always.
Yeah.
I don't know what taste.
So, and speaking of that, that was a fantastic guest reading by our friend Bitter Corella. Taste bitter. See what I did there? Still got it.
Ooh.
I still got the
Angstrom
same picture.
bitters.
Yeah, if I'm talking about friends of the pod, I saw Gabe from Glass Half Full Moon throw like a Molotov cocktail at the horde of encroaching zombies as Casey ran at them with like a chainsaw, but then they disappeared into like the fray. Has anyone heard from them? Are they still alive?
Wait, was this Podfire or Battle Royale?
You know, it's
Yes.
funny you should mention that. They're very similar.
Mhm.
All right, so the VHS says Xena Warrior Princess? Is that what it says?
I love chakram and lesbians.
I don't know much about Chakram.
Oh, no, it just says Princess Warrior.
It's Warrior Princess, though, right?
No, Princess Warrior.
Okay.
1989.
Warrior
I think that's
Princess?
before Xena.
Does Gimcrack have dyslexia?
You know, it's not polite to talk about people's medical conditions on the show without their consent. I'm just going to
Can I
put that
talk
out
about
there.
your medical conditions on the show?
You know,
Yeah.
I there were some medical conditions that somebody did mention. I'll have to see if I can dig that up.
Medical conditions that somebody did mention, like
About Gimcrack, yeah.
what?
Wait, you've got the hot goss, Dustin?
Hold on, let me see if I can throw it on the soundboard here, because there was a phone call that came in. Maybe you had something to do with that. Add it there. All right, so now I can play it from my speaker phone on this because we're doing it live.
Hey yo, Gimcrack, man. You look like the fucking crypt keeper before he lost his nose.
You know, I take that as a compliment, actually.
Okay, all right. I guess that was
If there was
yeah,
anything
I
that
think
could
we got
improve
you.
the Crypt Keeper, it'd be a
Mhm.
fabulous nose like Gimcrack's.
It's funny. A lot of people think Crypt Keeper lost his nose because he's a slowly rotting corpse, but actually it was syphilis. Get tested, people.
All right.
Anyway,
Rapid
Princess
I've,
Warrior. I think we should go ahead and pop this bad boy in and
Okay.
see what happens. Still getting over that fucking COVID. You turned the goddamn island into a super spreader event. Are you happy with yourself?
Yeah, I thought the zombies would help take care of that, though.
Now, tonight is the last show of the year for us. So we thought we'd take a look back at some of the craziest moments here on USA Up All Night. And speaking of crazy, we have two zany movies, Princess Warriors and License to Drive. Our first movie is Princess Warriors, which is kind of like Star Wars meets Amazon bikini models. Eat your heart out, Princess Leia. Now, here's Princess Warriors on USA Up All Night.
Okay, so I couldn't actually find a movie
All
trailer
night.
for it, but I did find the Up All Night clip, and I loved Up All Night. It was such a fantastic show.
We all like the things that remind us of when we were young. I've been quite fond of the Black Plague, actually.
Yeah, that
So-
makes sense.
Did you stay and listen throughout the whole of the credits?
No, I slept through the last 10 minutes of this movie.
Oh, is that what that was?
Well, you know, I went and got a beer about halfway through, and then then I got another beer, and then I got another beer, and the movie was still on. So,
It was titillating,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Not as much as I would have wanted it to be.
what's the line between movie and softcore? Because like, there's no actual sex in this, but then like, it is nothing but just tits, right?
No, not even.
Yeah, there's sex.
And like, I got really self-conscious about halfway through because I didn't I showed up today with my Better When Wet t-shirt, and I didn't expect it to be so relevant.
it was
Yeah.
very relevant. You know
It's
what
just
else
what I
is
was
relevant?
wearing when the rescue coppers came and picked us up off the island, and yeah, I've been kind of fond of it.
You know what that amateur Patrick he forgot to do before he stormed off out of here? Thanks for tuning in to the Found on Shelf podcast. That's right. We are the Found on Shelf podcast. Find us on foundonshelfpod.com Or you can call up and leave a voicemail for Gimcrack. 252-564-8666.
We are a podcast about movies. We talk about movies. That's all this podcast exists to do. To watch a movie every week and talk about it. Nothing else. No fluff, no faff, no bits.
Lots of fluff.
I mean,
In
I'd
this
like
one,
to
yes.
hear your bits, Gimcrack. Maybe even see him.
Now, pull your robe up.
Look, I told you. I just showed up in the Better When Wet t-shirt, and that's all I'm wearing right now.
Yeah.
You're still wearing more than Ovule did.
Oh, view.
No,
So-
sorry, you're wearing less.
So
No, she had the t-shirt, and that was it. She eventually
No.
got
She had shoes and underwear on. I
Which
know
shoe-
this because you didn't get any up shirt pantless shots anymore.
canonically, she wasn't wearing underwear in the tube.
exactly.
But, and then later they say she's wearing nothing besides the shirt. However, she is clearly wearing underwear underneath the shirt.
Mhm.
So, far be it from me to impugn the verisimilitude of a film such as this. But
Yeah, she got
I-
those shoes and
two
panties
whole
out of
hijinks.
nowhere.
Mhm. The
When
shoes
she
specifically
hiked
was
up
really
her
interesting. yeah.
shirt to show off her thigh tattoo, we should have been fighting the camera,
Birthmark.
not to show bush.
Yes, no, it is a bush mark, and this was towards the end of the 80s. There was probably not a lot of bush going on at this particular juncture. Now, 10 years earlier,
Full
Yeah.
bush.
yeah, full bush, no spine. But right here, this particular movie, I'd say significantly less.
Wait, I thought Bush was president in the 2000s.
Bush was president for a lot of time. Did you know that there was more than one Bush?
Oh, that's tragic.
Yeah, you've got W, you've got Senior, you've got unicorn shape, lightning shape, landing strip, little Hitler.
Yeah, I prefer the front bush. I don't like the one that came in the end.
Hello and welcome to Found on Shelf.
Well, thank God Deborah's dead.
How would you pitch this movie?
I think we should get Cammy to pitch the film.
What you got for us?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How would you sell
So-
somebody to watch this movie?
Are you interested in a sci-fi epic that takes place 100% in LA? Led by two strong women who excel at dick punching and somehow communicating through their thighs.
it's a strong pitch. I have an alternative one. Would you like to hear it?
Please.
So, you like boobs?
Yes.
That's it. That's the
That's
pitch.
that's the pitch. Okay, you like boobs, yeah?
Yeah, I got a movie for you.
Do you like the same mattress store 5 times in a row?
Wait, what? Oh, yes.
You like boobs? You're gonna love the first 15 minutes of this movie.
How much of this film was spent at a wet t-shirt contest?
Far too much. Far too much.
Not enough.
Interesting dichotomy. Welcome to Crosstalk. Let's go.
When you're throwing a wet t-shirt contest and what you're using as the wetting device is a Windex
Spritzer
spray,
bottle? Yeah.
Yes, the Windex bottle.
it's gonna take a long time for that wet t-shirt contest.
It's funny. Those t-shirts were awfully dry for most of that.
Yeah.
Also, how did you know there was not a lot of focus on the wet t-shirts in the wet t-shirt contest?
No, there was not a lot of focus on that.
It felt more like the focus was a little bit lower.
Yes, definitely.
Mhm.
So we have this movie starts in space.
Yeah, as all great films do.
Yes, and
2001: A Space Odyssey.
Goonies Part 3 was Goonies in space.
There's no Space Goonies. Stop trying to make Space Goonies a thing.
Hey, but I'm doing it for you.
Look, I saved your life on Potfire by not killing you. So the least you could do is coming into my
Wait.
store. And yes,
Dustin,
Yes.
you owe Gimcrack $30-something and your life?
Well,
You owe Gimcrack a life debt?
a
Yes.
little bit more than $37 now. I borrowed a lot of money from him before Podfire. I'm glad Patrick didn't hear that.
25 whole cents.
Yeah, that came out of my
Yeah, it did.
piss sack.
It didn't come out of your piss sack. You never
Well, I mean,
gave me the coin back. It went
this-
into your piss sack. In
I
your,
tried to
in
give
your analogy, in your analogy, the money came from me and into your piss sack.
No, I tried to give it to you out of my piss sack, but you wouldn't take it.
No, I'm not taking any of the money from the piss sack. It's not even real coins. Look at them. Look, they got little rats on the cord. It's not real
Oh.
money.
You found the doubloons.
You're
the
lucky the jackalope even takes them.
The jackalope takes a lot more than that.
I run a respectable business here. So anyway, Cammy, what did you think about the tits?
Well, they were a little too quick and a little too not on screen for the rest of the movie. It kind of blew its shot early.
It happens to everyone every once in a while.
You know that people tell you that, but it's not true. It's just you. You listening to us right now. Listener, it's only you. What game?
You had the purple BDSM mask dungeon, like masculine, not like face mask, because they had like the purple lipstick and the little short shorts that they were wearing in spandex. And it was like this wonderful twist because it was all the guys in there, like one in a cage, one on the door. Then,
Actually, let's get back to the crosstalk debate. We had a debate earlier. Very strong divergence of opinions. I think we've got some really juicy material here in this show. So, Dustin, what's your position on short shorts? Do you like short shorts?
I don't personally enjoy wearing them, but I don't mind other people wearing them.
Okay.
that's how I got my wife. You need to have short shorts. Rugby brought it as a gift upon this earth, and everyone should graciously accept it. Short shorts for the win.
I set the ball up for a specific joke. Everyone missed it. Okay, moving on.
What was your joke?
Wait. If you're wearing short shorts, the balls are going to come out.
Who wears short shorts? We wear short shorts.
There we go.
Better
See?
wear short shorts,
Mm-hmm.
or I'll kick you in the nuts.
Got a little Cartman there at the end. Just
Hey.
a little bit Cartman.
Okay,
We need
all
to-
right.
Yeah, it's just your creative process.
Just
I think you're great. You took it,
dial
you
it back
ran
a
with
little
it.
bit.
But yeah, we can't go full Cartman. It could be maybe like a half Cartman.
Okay, I've got the Sigma brain that's like in this slow drip into my arm, so I'm not taking as much of it at once.
Wait. I thought it was a suppository.
Well, I went past. The problem with the suppositories, honestly, is I was just doing it way too much. Way too.
I think
And
things were
part of
getting a
me,
little loose back there.
yeah, and part of me wonders if I was really doing it for the Sigma brain. But anyway, I was taking
Wait.
too much, hit my bloodstream too fast, so the drip helps control that. So now I'm not as off my rocker, I think is
Have
what the
you
doctors call me.
experimented with any other drugs? Like,
I
you're not
mean,
mixing these, are you?
if you were at Podfire, you would have known. We pretty much experimented with every drug known to man.
Like, you need to talk to your doctor before, like, figuring out what these medical interactions are going to be, right?
Well, that's if you have a doctor.
Good point.
I need to know if your crippling cocaine addiction is affecting your Sigma brain intake.
No.
Dustin, would you say your Sigma brain usage has become a problem if you've moved to intravenous use?
No.
How did you get the liquefied Sigma brain?
No.
Wait. Oh God, are there capsules pushing through that IV?
Anyway, so what we had a movie to talk about here.
Yes, Princess War. Was it? Movie's a strong word in this instance.
Yeah.
So I mean, we start off immediately. Queen's dying.
Queen is dying.
The Queen Mother.
The next chick has to be there.
Let's set the stage a little bit more for people than that. So we say this is a space movie, right? And we say the space queen of space is dying in space, right?
Okay, they're sitting in a theater with black carpets on the wall.
It's a black box theater again, right? You're just doing it again. It's just a couple of people, some props, and a dark stage. It reminds me, there's this porno movie from the 80s called Babe. Has anyone seen Babe?
Pig
No.
in the City?
That'll do. But no. So the premise of it is it's very Brewster's Millions. It's that this woman is the best modeling girl at this agency. She's the best one. She does the best naked shoots. We need her. We know she's the best because Ron Jeremy is very interested in taking her photos with a fake French accent.
And if he blows his whole load, he gets her for the whole shoot.
It's quite frankly just delightfully bad. But her uncle dies and leaves her money as an inheritance on the condition that she find a husband, that she settle down and find a husband within like 30 days before she can claim the money. So she holds auditions and for a husband, but the owner of the modeling agency doesn't want to lose her best model, so she intentionally sabotages this woman.
What the fuck are we talking about?
Anyway, the point is there's a large pornographic rendition, I think, of Hamlet or Macbeth.
Okay.
Something. In a black box theater. That was the tenuous thread I was going with. I was eventually going to get back there.
Yeah, I was hoping. You took it for a little walk. It's okay.
I mean, Shakespeare could be a metaphor for jerking it.
Yes.
I suppose it could. People say this shit was an educational, but then comments like that come through, and I'm like, it makes me believe in what we do here every week, Dustin.
Yeah, wasn't there something about Shakespeare that was, I don't know, my history teacher told us about that. He doesn't work in school
black
anymore.
box theater, Space Queen dying in space in a black box theater. Now, everyone's kind of dressed in togas.
Yeah.
But they're short togas.
Space babe togas.
Slut tunics from Halloween. And
okay, slut tunics works.
And not to shame anyone. They use the word. They explicitly use the word whore in this show.
That's
but
true.
I don't feel comfortable about that. They use it a lot, like a lot.
So do I.
Well, the Queen Mother can tell. She's a whore. I can smell it on her.
Yeah. Well, she did just get done banging two guys.
She did. Would you say that to your daughter though, on your deathbed? Like, I can smell the dick on you.
I mean, come on.
If
She's dying, and she sets them against each other with her last words. Like,
so there's two. Yeah, so there's two sisters, and the queen dying decides to do that.
She says, "Hey, there's a lineage. There's a succession. We usually give it to the oldest daughter. Fuck you, you're
kind
a
of a
whore.
bitch.
Give it to this one."
And she's like, I kind of don't like you, so she gets it instead. And then they fight. And this fight scene was the scene from the drive-in movie on Getting Lucky.
I knew it was a drive-in. I thought it was from that Easter monster movie we watched, but it's from Getting Lucky.
It's from Getting Lucky, yeah.
Oh.
That Easter monster movie was garbage too. But
It was not about Easter. I just can't remember what it was.
Didn't really matter.
Yeah, so lightsabers.
Yeah, they have but their lightsabers are cooler because they shoot little blasts and they go.
That's right, the little orbs that disintegrate you.
Right, and they pull you into the black curtains, and you die. That was fantastic. People in my high school play used to die the same way. It was great.
Yeah, there's a real DIY spirit to the first part of this movie. It's kind of nice. It's like what if Dogtown was done by assholes?
But they had such a way with words. You could tell the art of theater was alive with them. Like, look at that. What was it that they said? Look at that weak little whore of a father.
Love the
poetry
word. But yes, so this is a female supremacist society. Men are relegated to concubines, and yes, their father is a whore who wasn't allowed to skulk around at the foot of his wife's deathbed. He was chased from the room.
He wasn't allowed to talk either, because that would have been more to pay for a speaking role.
I don't know about that. I think that actor just had his voice box removed prior to shooting.
I think he was just like, I'm not fucking talking to this movie. No
I mean,
way.
yes, of course, obviously. It's like how Christopher Lee would just hiss. through Dracula lines. Like, this dialogue is shit. I'm just hissing.
So yeah, as they fight, they beat up a lot of them. And then there's a group of and you could tell which ones are good because they're all wearing nice white little toga dresses, and the bad ones are all wearing like black dresses with nipples on them.
It's a Barbarella look. It looks like something out of Barbarella.
It was kind of cute, the sequins.
They were rocking it all right. But then yes, they eventually get the queen to be, not the evil queen, the good queen, Uvula, Vulva, whatever her name was.
Ovule, which I
Ovule.
only learned 2/3 of the way through the movie.
Yes.
The name stuck out to me.
Do you recognize Ovule?
I think it's Dutch.
I thought they were the
I meant the
popcorn
actress.
guy.
What?
I meant the actress that played Ovule.
No, I don't remember. I don't know Ovule. And what did Cammy say about popcorn?
Oh, I thought you were talking about Orville.
Ooh, no. I think that show's still on the air, actually. But the actress, what was she in?
That was Sharon Lee Jones.
That does not help.
Mommy to Tommy.
Do you recognize this actor?
He
Yes,
is-
it's Jones Jonesington. Fine, amazing, brilliant. What?
Man, Kim Crack is salty tonight. She was the slutty Raggedy Ann from Josh Kirby 3.
You are fucking with me.
You can't be serious.
That was the other reason I wanted to watch this movie.
That's the reason you brought it up?
He was very into the slutty Raggedy Ann. It didn't come out much in the show. Patrick cut most of it editing, but like he went on and on about it. You could ask Gabe and Casey; they'll tell you straight up. It was like 20 minutes of just slutty Raggedy Ann content coming straight out of his mouth. One long take. It was kind of captivating. Like you mentioned popcorn earlier, you could just eat it, just listen. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, that was her.
Was it the fact that they were a doll or that they were a redhead?
Yes.
This woman's entire career consists of 2 fetish films. One was explicitly a fetish film, and the other one that was explicitly the writer's fetish and probably confused a lot of children that they would never reckon with until they were much older, going, why am I into that? And then they watch this movie and go, oh, that's why I'm into that. Oh, no.
Yeah.
What have you done, Charles Band? You know,
I mean, if they
like-
can ever find it again. That's one of those things where you say, I remember when I was a little kid watching this movie, and people on the internet go, nice creepypasta, go to bed.
But that's where the Found on Shelf podcast comes in. If you're a regular listener, you find that nightmare fuel from your childhood again all over,
Mhm.
all the time. It's the service we provide here to reconnect you with the traumas you've forgotten but are palatable.
She was also
Aw.
in 9.5 Ninjas.
9.5 Ninjas.
Yeah.
So was she the half ninja?
I don't really know much about 9.5 Ninjas.
We're going to have to really explore this one.
Ninjas or 9.5 inches? Because that makes a big difference.
9.5 Ninjas.
It was a little anticlimactic for you there, wasn't it?
One review just says it beats watching the Weather Channel, I guess.
So look forward to Found on Shelf Season 5, and we inevitably watch 9.5 Ninjas.
Oh, and she was in Leapin' Leprechauns. That has come up a few times now.
I know, yeah.
Are you threatening Gimcrack with leaping leprechauns?
It might be.
I think he's threatening Patrick, and since Patrick isn't here to defend himself, it might just happen.
I know. How am I supposed to flirt with him when he's not here?
Truly a wrinkle in the episode that I didn't see coming.
Oh, pass over that pen and that pad of paper.
Okay,
At
What's
the very
happening here?
least, I can leave some notes.
leaving love notes for Patrick.
Well, yeah, it's how, we express our friendship. I flirt, Patrick balks and, pretends he's not interested, and we go on with our lives.
Okay, so after the lightsaber fight, they,
Yeah, I'm with you. Let's go back to the movie.
they hop in this portal.
So the
Now,
portal's a tube.
yes, like they have
It-
like an ATM or where you have to put the thing and it goes
A
whoop,
pneumatic tube.
a pneumatic
Yeah,
tube.
it really read like a medicine sort of capsule
Right,
container,
right.
but like
Except for
blown
there's
up and
no
transparent.
and there's no non-organic elements allowed in there.
So what does that mean for the film, Dustin?
Well, despite the fact that most likely they were wearing cotton, organic kind of clothing that they could have kept on, it just means they have to go into this thing naked.
It's 41 minutes into the episode. I really, and you hadn't done it yet. I really just thought, just like throwing you the softball, and you would have played your favorite soundbite. But you do you, Dustin.
Yeah.
Give it to
Yep.
me, Dustin. Uh-huh.
That's all you have to ask for. Yes, it was
Titties out.
titties out in the tube.
Titties out.
And that was about and that was how you transport people and to another place. And she gets transported to a bar in Los Angeles that's holding a wet t-shirt contest
I assume it's a strip club.
of sorts. Yes. They're holding a ridiculous wet t-shirt contest where, like we mentioned, they're spraying them with Windex bottles and just drizzling water on them.
As one does. We've all been to Windex bottle wet t-shirt contests, right?
The person filming it live, so that if you're over at the bar, you can see it on the TV on a delay.
4 feet away from you.
Let's talk about this decision. So the decision is to spend about 10 minutes of this movie at this wet t-shirt contest. And the wet t-shirt contest consists of three or four women in tight crop tops and a bikini. We'll say G-string, just dancing around, right?
Mhm.
And then someone in plaid coming around and spritzing their shirts with like a mister. Really get things moist.
Oh, God.
In the fiction of the film, they're filming it for the delay, like you said. What they choose to do in the movie is cut back and forth from the scenes of them shooting on actual, not great cameras, but still movie cameras, right? To them shooting on video to simulate the footage that they would record on the camcorder in the bar. A decision was made that was somewhat artistic here, and it baffles me because what they end up doing with it is just cutting back and forth from shots of the wet t-shirt contest to shots of the wet t-shirt contest recorded on video.
And then shots at the bar with the video filmed shots of a wet t-shirt contest.
Exactly.
Now, back in space, evil sister has decided she's going to come and chase her sister who's teleported to the middle of the wet t-shirt contest, right?
Yeah.
So her and her two besties also get naked and get into the bubatic tube.
Yes.
Okay, but we have to talk about her besties first. Because
Okay.
do you remember what they're named?
No!
Oh, you didn't
No!
catch their names?
So she has her besties, bulimia and eczema, and 3 pairs of tits is too much for one tube. So their friend, rickettsia, has to stay behind.
Yeah.
Like, oh, here are my friends, cystic fibrosia and Parkinsonia. Like, you could tell they're evil.
Plantar fasciitis was really popular with Quentin Tarantino.
And we also meet at the titty bar. We meet our
Yeah, back at the bar. So back at the space, back to the wet t-shirt contest.
Yeah, so we're gonna talk about Bob.
What about Bob? That's the best joke I've got all night, and you know it.
Yep. So Bob, I guess, is the DJ at the club, and he decides that he is done with them because the club owner declared he declared our chick the winner, and he grabs her boobs, and she didn't like that.
Okay, so
Wait. He was already planning on leaving. He was conspiring with like the only girl bartender.
Yeah.
She teleports in from space, is completely naked,
Yes.
grabs a wet and wild, a better when wet t-shirt, like the one I'm wearing right now, and
Right.
only
Yeah.
a better when wet t-shirt, like the
Yeah.
one I'm wearing right now. And, you know,
At least hers went down the mid thigh. It's kind of.
hey, look, it comes just past the jump. You can't
Oh,
see it unless
God,
I
sit
move a
down.
little bit.
Ugh,
You know, just want to
Jesus
if I
Christ.
just want to excite everyone, just like,
No.
you know,
Work
like
it, Gimcrack.
you could just get like a glimpse, like the idea of it. You know.
Okay. Can I open my eyes now?
Yeah, Dustin, take it all in.
This is you know, it could be worse. I could just pull like a full Basic Instinct right now.
It's like
I
staring
wish you
into a
would.
dead void. I just
You
feel
know,
like
that's kind of rude.
Well-
just to be level, you know.
Can't you appreciate the gift that's been put before us, Dustin?
Now back to space. Now
Back-
back to the wet
so
t-shirt
back to the wet
contest.
t-shirt contest. Yes.
Now back to me.
But she wanders into a wet t-shirt contest from space, and then they used all of the spritz to make sure her nipples are barely visible.
All the
So-
Windex.
They did have a pitcher of water just in case the spritzing of the Windex didn't work.
Yeah.
We don't want to go crazy now.
And she was declared winner. But then the guy that was the DJ, he quit. And then he went back in and then he ran back out and ran into the wall.
So there's this thing called the Kuleshov effect.
And they don't know how to do it.
They show her coming out of the prescription refill pod, putting on the shirt, and then they cut to Bob. And Bob looks. And then it cuts to her. And then it goes back to Bob, and he sort of shouts across the bar, "Hey, don't go anywhere. Wait till I finish my set."
But then she goes somewhere. How rude.
She took herself to a secondary location. She beat him to
Away
it.
from Bob. But yeah, so she runs out the bar and he decides he'd rather go chase this random chick that just magically appeared in the strip bar because apparently she has the best nipples in all of LA instead of continuing to have a job.
Right.
And he says he's going to go get his records, and the boss decides that he's going to have the bouncer throw him out. But they couldn't afford to show that, so they just cut to him with the actor very clearly running out the door and into a wall to simulate being thrown. And it's amazing. But what is also more amazing is we haven't talked about the two brothers who own the strip club. And I know none of this has anything to do with Princesses from Space. Neither does this fucking movie. But get with the program here.
Vinny and Vito.
Yo, hey, Vinny, crank that stereo. It's dancing titty time.
It is the worst fake Italian that I have heard in some time. It's like if you plugged a can of Chef Boyardee into an amplifier. This is the sound that would come out.
It's dancing titty time.
That's what's going on inside your ravioli can right now.
Okay, I do want to focus on a scene right quick because
Uh-huh.
he gets thrown out by the bouncer, right? Hits the wall and then collapses down onto the street. Sad, never getting his records again. And the shot pans slowly down over Bob. And there's a moment there where it's focusing on his pants, on those tight little jeans there. And I think,
He scuffed his jeans too. Do you notice that? He was
mhm,
very upset about scuffing his jeans.
Wow. Yeah.
I was hoping that this was some foreshadowing, that this was a promise there. And then,
Oh
you know,
no one involved here is comfortable with sexualizing the male form.
they could try a little,
They could try.
just
did
a
not.
little.
No, not during this time.
1989, the far
Yeah.
off time of 1989.
Yeah.
With enough drugs, anything is possible.
I thought I told you to fuck off. Fuck white.
Oh, that was when the guy thinks that she's a prostitute and he wants to get into a fight with Bob.
They have to show how clueless she is by.
Why don't you fuck off? I love his delivery.
We're now at the 30-minute mark. I think the wet t-shirt contest is finally over. No, wait! Back to the wet t-shirt contest. All of the evil sisters from space show up to the wet t-shirt contest.
And they get into fights with all the guys who are apparently wearing their exact same size clothing.
You can tell the society they're from because they instantly go for the dick punch.
There's a lot of dick punch. Although she does titty kick too, so kind of dick punches and titty kicks, so it's okay.
I don't know that makes it better in this particular instance.
No, but they're well rounded.
It is cute though that they get like the right sizes for them in some weird kind of not wrestler garb, sort of athletic wear.
I don't know that they're the right sizes for them because, like, their shirts kind of are kind of loose, but the rest of everything is very tight fitting. It's a weird look.
Yeah, but like the main sister princess, I thought it was really cute that she put her shirt into a knot. Like, she's gonna steal your clothing and she's gonna make it look cute.
Is that what they're doing?
Well, I'll tell you what she's doing. She's delivering her lines like she's fucking Frankenfurter.
Yeah, a little bit. Little bit.
There's a lot of like third act Rocky in her attitude here.
She's a bit much.
Look, Patrick's not here. Someone had to say it.
So, yeah, someone's got to talk about it. Yeah, her name was. Oh, and the evil sister's name was Curette.
Curette.
Curette. Yes.
Curette. Like Tourette's?
Curette.
No.
Yeah, something.
Cure.
The Cure?
Curette.
Yeah.
Curette. Correct. Okay.
Correct. Yes.
Correct.
No, curette.
Direct.
Correct.
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 Shrek?
Curette.
Shrek.
Hey now, you're an all-star.
Now back to the wet t-shirt contest.
No. Back to the police chase.
I gave the completely wrong song. That was not somebody once told me.
No.
No, it
was
is.
not.
It's the same song.
Wait.
It? Oh God, I'm thinking of a later lyric.
You do. I think it's getting past Cammy's bedtime. We need to like land this plane.
You know, I haven't hit a woman since I was 10.
Start playing random clips from the movie.
God, the fact that his payoff is getting to hit Curette is just some low tier shit.
It really is. Yeah, there's
Like he's the character with the most like of an arc or character growth because he has sort
Yeah.
of this introduction, this stake of the character, the conflict with Curette, and then the ending payoff and reward. No one else
Yeah.
gets growth like that.
Well, except for his buddy that gets to go and have a nice drink afterwards.
But you don't even get to see that.
Gimcrack, I got another voicemail for you.
What?
I got just an incoming voicemail for Gimcrack.
Incoming voicemail for Gimcrack. Or do we, wait, so what line's it called?
Yeah, hi. This message is for Gimcrack. You know, there's always something up with you and your rental store. I was just there a few hours ago, and I rented a movie, right? I got home, put the movie on, made me some Butter Lovers popcorn. And I'm sitting down watching this movie, eating popcorn, having a great time. And it just hit me all of a sudden. Wait a minute. You guys ever punched a hole in my frequent renter's card? God damn you. This fucking really pisses me off, man. I go there a lot. And I know you don't want to you ain't trying to give nobody a free rental if you don't have to. You anti-rental fuck. I know this shit. So you know what? I'm like, fuck all this. So I put the popcorn down. I grab my brass knuckles. And I start shining my knuckles, but I let the movie play because I like to watch something while I polish my knuckles. And I'm like, Gimcrack, I need to teach you a lesson. All right? So here's how it's going to go down. I'm going to come down there. You're going to punch a hole. You're going to punch all the holes out in my fucking frequent renter's card. Punch them all out. If you don't do that, I'm going to punch your fucking lights out. All right? Do you ever see a video store owner get knocked the fuck out by a frequenting customer? That you should see. That you should see. Gimcrack flying backwards into a rack of movies with his heels in the air. That you should see. All right? So I'm coming down there right now. I'm going to come down there. I'm bringing my brass knuckles and my frequent renter's card. All right? You know, no matter what happens, I don't want to lose my membership there, okay? Because you guys have a fucking awesome selection, and, you know, I love it. I absolutely love it. But choice is yours, man, okay? Do the right thing. See you in a few.
Do you like your
that's
movie
rough,
selection?
buddy? I've been here for over 10 hours, and I can tell you Gimcrack is not going to give you any more holes than he's shown me.
I'm not sure how I can follow that when she makes statements like that. What I will say is, you know, if he knocks me directly backwards and heels up while I'm wearing nothing but the Better When Wet t-shirt, maybe he does see some holes. I don't know.
Okay, he needs to not do that while we're recording. He can do that when we're done recording.
Yeah, well, here's the actual thing. It's fine, it must have just slipped my mind. Things happen, moves. We have a lot of customers here. Sometimes you get a little bit too busy. Shut up. And
I mean, Cammy's been here for 12 hours by herself.
I mean, I work the
it's
register.
a slow day.
Yeah, it's always a slow day here.
I pressed the buttons and people said ding.
Yes. Pushes the buttons and people go ding.
If he shows back up, that's perfectly fine. We'll just get. You know what? I'll give him a new card with all the holes punched. And you have 2 holes punch cards on it.
Yeah,
He's fine. We'll give him a rental on the house.
Right.
What's great is I've got this movie that I'm sure he hasn't seen it. It's called Things, and I think it'll really help.
He's already upset. Don't show him things.
Okay, what we can do, so you can just give him a copy of Warrior Princess Warrior.
Wait, I'm taking this home.
What?
You might as well. It's well. All right.
Yeah.
So
Okay. For 2 days, 2-day
her.
rental, 2 days, 2 days, 3rd day free. Okay. We'll give him something else. He'll be fine.
Okay, but that's an invitation to come back.
You can mail it. We have a mail service.
MALE.
Oh, you're no fun. You could have told
Actually,
me
the way I normally collect rentals is after someone has been driven mad, or the demon inside the tape has killed them. One of those 2 things will happen, and then I will come collect the tape spiritually, like I'll just magically I'll be summoned there. I'll just pick it up and I'll disappear back into the night.
What
No one
about
will
dropping it
survive.
off in your slot?
You could also do that. Although I would be nervous about the verbiage you tend to gravitate toward.
It is legally binding.
Back to the wet t-shirt contest.
Binding.
The movie proceeds in this manner, and
what?
I don't think we need to like.
Were you guys bored with this movie?
Yeah, I was so fucking bored. Oh my god! Like after they get out of the wet t-shirt contest, which is like 10 whole minutes, or maybe 15. It's like half of this movie,
and it's a boring.
No.
Contest.
The wet t-shirt contest is like a quarter of the movie. Half the movie is the car chase.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the car chase is them just on a motorbike going through LA. Like he stalks her for a little bit, but then he eventually coerces her back to his house. I'm sure it's cool, nothing weird about that. And then the sisters are there and they torture him, but then the cops show up, and so the cops want to arrest all of them. And then there's a car chase between them and the cops for like the rest of the movie.
Yeah. And like,
and then they finally get into a warehouse.
Like they had an idea for a buddy cop movie for Leather Cop and Tweed Cop, and they really wanted to focus on that.
And Leather Cop and Tweed Cop is so nice. What it actually is it's Fat Cop and Andrew Dice Clay Cop.
Yes, it's very.
Whoa, that's my Andrew Dice Clay. How do you like it? Whoa,
could use some work.
Yeah, Mary, quite contrary.
I haven't hit a woman since I was 10.
Oh, the better? The better?
Yeah.
Cammy, do you know who Andrew Dice Clay is?
You gotta try. He needed the money.
He needed the money. I have no idea.
All right, so next week we're doing the Adventures of Ford Fairlane, but this week, wrapping it up, this for like an hour. This car chase goes on. Then eventually they get to a warehouse. They have sex. Bob and Ovula.
Yeah. They have sex at the warehouse mattress.
Mm-hmm.
In the industrial park, just loose mattress.
Yeah, I'm sure that's nice. And
yeah, I think that was already on location, to be honest with you guys.
Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right.
And you know what? And the hot spoon was too.
Yeah. I thought they were actually gonna shoot up some heroin or something, but no.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
When someone threatens to cauterize your mouth, melt your tongue to the roof of your mouth, that's a pretty good threat. at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, to distract the fact that all they could afford in the props department was a spoon.
It's a hot spoon. Yeah. Like, how are we going to torture him? Hot spoon. Cool. And like, they didn't even actually want to get it hot. They just kind of like painted it white. Like, look, it's white hot.
Okay, and this is the part where I passed out from all of the beers, so someone else is going to have to lend us home.
Okay, so so now we're on an on-foot chase in the warehouse. They're running around chasing each other. Sometimes it's daytime, sometimes it's nighttime. Whatever. Just
It's
running
real
around.
cat and mouse. They show you a
Mhm.
great view of the warehouse where it's just lines and lines of support pillars and nothing else. And somehow Ovule finds her way to a truck, the only thing in the warehouse that you have seen. And as Curette passes by under her, I don't know what she throws at her head, but she hits her and then jumps on her.
Mhm. And then they
Oh,
fight.
that's right. Before we even get there, Eczema and Bulimia steal the guns from our cops because the cops crashed out at the end of the car chase.
At night, and then apparently they didn't wake up until the morning.
hmm So now they're handcuffed inside the car, call for backup, more cops show up, and they kill Bulimia and Eczema dead.
That's how you get rid of eczema.
You shoot it.
It's not how you get rid of bulimia.
Not, I mean,
You gotta try a little harder on that one.
yeah.
Well, there's this little spot where the two cops have just shot down Eczema and Bulimia, and they walk over to them, and they're looking at each other smiling, and I can't help but thinking they're gonna say something like, you know, we did a good thing here today.
I was just amazed it was that easy to keep bulimia down. The chanting women that were all around the thing in Nirvana, they finally get into where the tube is, kill the other chick, and then they send the tube down to her. And she's like, "Hey, do you want to come back here and be my king? And don't worry, I'm going to change the entire rules of the kingdom for you, oh man that I met 3 minutes ago." And he's like, "Yeah, I either go with you and be a king, or I stay here and get arrested." So he strips down, gets into the tube. No dong, sorry. And then they just go away. And the evil chick is still there. She's going to get arrested. And the cop looks at the other cop and says,
Let's go get a drink. I need one bad.
Sounds like a winner.
and they go off and get a drink. And that's it.
I can't believe the entire subplot of like the new age anti-vax aunt of the portal is your body. Anything can be the portal. Now let's enact the trance.
So let's really dig down into this one. This one thing we'll say is while they're on Earth, the other supporters of Queen Ovule decide that they need to channel their power to bring her back through the portal, and the way you do that is really simple. You just get rid of all desire, achieve enlightened nirvana, and you can space teleport. And it's only going to take about, 20 minutes, Dustin?
Roughly 3/4 of the movie, or a
And-
third of the movie, maybe.
Yeah. So remember first that desire is the root of all suffering,
Mhm.
achieve Buddhist enlightenment and reach nirvana, and then you can space teleport, and it really doesn't take that long, just like an afternoon tops.
Yes, and don't forget,
Titties out.
Titties out!
Yeah, you and your friends gotta have your titties out.
it's always out. So
And
that brings us
that's
to the end of the movie, huh?
that's the end of the movie. Do you
It
have
was-
do you have a question?
I've got some information here. This movie was directed by Lindsay Norgard, who only directed 2 movies. This and a movie called Homeboys, about a bunch of Mexican gangbangers in LA that came out in 1992. And yeah, I can't find. I looked for a copy of that movie for a while.
Probably
Like, I don't-
best.
Yeah.
Good on her. She got to
Yeah.
depict sort of that reversal of fates with the BDSM dungeon, you know? Really put
Hey.
women in control.
Yeah, but she didn't write the movie. She just directed it. The writer was John Riley, not John C. Riley, who wrote 3 movies, this one, and For Ladies Only, which is about a struggling actor in New York that becomes a male stripper.
A male stripper, you say?
And The Tower, which actually I kind of want to watch because it kind of sounds like Chopping Mall, but it's a guy gets locked into an ultra modern corporate building, and they're perceived as a threat by a homicidal security system hell bent on killing them. That sounds awesome.
Well,
Really?
that sounds fun.
Yeah, it came out in '93. I think it was a made-for-TV movie, so you know it's going to be fantastic.
When did what is it? Children Under the Stairs come out?
Wes Craven's film came out in 91.
Okay, I was wondering if there might be some parallels since you've got The Tower, you've got The Fool, making sort of a tarot of movies.
Welcome to Joe's apartment.
I'm sorry. I'm still a little bit bummed out about Podfire. I'm sorry. I'm not with it today. Patrick got mad and stormed off. And I don't know. I'm just in a mood. But we could just wrap this show up if anyone's got anything else to say about it.
In a way, I brought you here to offer you a job. You think you can do it better, so here's your chance.
Okay, so 3 things. You have to change 3 things, but you can only change 3 things to try to improve this movie to make it more mainstream, more watchable, or actually make some money. What do you do?
I think we should bring it to an open forum. We do just like 3 things collectively, and I'll start us off.
No, I've
Hot
got
take?
3 that are really good. Like me. Over here.
Okay, you can just have the joke. Fine.
Well, you said open forum, and I don't think we're gonna get too Greek in it. I need it to end at the bar. It started with the wet t-shirt contest, and you've got these narrative threads throughout the movie. You have the fish out of water, you have the sibling rivals. So why not settle things the Earthling way under the guidance of 2 other brothers with dancing titty time? That's how people,
It's dancing titty time!
that's how they duke it out on Earth. The other thing is the car chase, right? Needs to be shorter, over half of it taken out. And if they're going to use the same scene again and again, might as well lean into it and have them clearly circling the mattress store. That way, when the car chase ends, they can transition to the dancing titty time. Now, the last thing, we need Curette and Ovule to actually be the ones driving it.
Pause. I feel like the last thing you're going to say is somehow going to also involve dancing titty time.
It's dancing titty time!
I mean, yeah, it all comes back to dancing titty time. I need when Ovule and Bob drive off on the motorcycle and the cops get distracted, I need Curette and her, gang of disease henchmen to get one over on the cops, actually take the car, and I need them to be the one driving, clearly in circles around that same mattress store. I need it to be the sisters driving the plot and not some weird 2-bit cop characters that came in from the side.
See what you mean there, yeah. Well, to be fair, the non-Andrew Dice Clay character, he was also known as the saxophone player on an episode of Full House.
I remember Full House that had the other twins, right? Except these ones didn't beat up each other, and I'm not sure if either of them called each other whores.
Not on the show, no.
No, but behind the scenes, yes, often. Wait, which twins are we
Weren't
talking
they
about?
like
Milton?
under 10?
I laughed through the tears. Jim Crack, did you have anything you wanted to change about the movie?
Hot take. I don't think there was enough boobs.
Yeah.
I think if you're going to start that strong with boobs, then you need to finish that strong, or at least have something in the middle. It's just like you said, it was all up front, and then that's it.
If you're gonna start with dancing titties, you gotta continue with dancing titties. You gotta end with dancing titties.
All right, and that's the show.
Was that a show?
No, not at all. Not even a little bit. Looks like this wasn't a movie. This wasn't really an episode. But if you would like to listen to us do more regular episodes, you can listen to us every other week on New Video Tuesday. We are the Found Out Jeff podcast, and you can find us on Blue Sky. I'm pretty sure only Blue Sky, but maybe Dustin has a few other things active. I know that we were on FetLife for a while, so that might still be a thing. And
only
then
pod fans.
Only farmers only, you said?
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Okay. We're not doing an OnlyFans account. It's no one can handle seeing my feet.
Only pod fans. That's what it was.
Only pod fans. That feels like a weird story arc. Let's talk about that one.
That domain's available. I'm buying it.
And Cammy, do you have anything you would like to pitch before I send this out?
Patrick, wherever you are out there, just know that however much I flirt with Gimcrack, it's just practice.
Riveting stuff. All right, you can find more stuff like that here. This is June, so I guess technically this was our first Pride episode. Doesn't really feel very supportive or indicative of anything, really. I don't know. Maybe we should rethink. Maybe we should just can this one and do a whole different episode.
Nah.
I brought my
Happy
sleeping
Pride!
bag.
Yay!
We can have a sleepover film bonanza.
I think that's the wrong outro music. It doesn't even matter.
What is that from?
That was. Oh, you know what? How the fuck did that end up there? That was from the. Oh, the movie where the rats crawled in the woman and came to space.
Yep, professional.
So I've got titties out. What is this supposed to do? Like, is anything happening? Is there supposed to be a light shining on a treasure somewhere?
You know, I think we did a good thing here today.